Is there anyone present who would not wish to be present for the prayer? Pastor Stewart will open our meeting with prayer.
Well, let's pray. Lord, I thank you for these moments of being able to get together, be able to discuss the business of the community of Lord. Lord, we pray, Lord Jesus, that you would just continue to work in our community. I pray, Lord Jesus, that you would be with the council members and that you would lead and guide them and give them that needed wisdom, that they would make decisions that are pleasing and honoring to you. Lord, we just pray that you would just continue to be here during this meeting and lead and guide the conversations. Lord, we thank you for just how you continue to work. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Pledge to the flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
President Barbie Trent.
Here.
Vice President Kevin Waller. Robert Lee.
Here.
LaDon Yingling.
Here.
Sean Yingling.
Here.
Mayor Margaret Madalena.
We have a reading of the minutes from the September 14th.
Regularly scheduled meeting of COALPORT Borough, September 14th, 2020. President Trent called the meeting to order at 7 p.m. Prayer was done by James Smeal. Pledge of Allegiance, roll call attendance. President Barbie Trent, Vice President Kevin Swaller, Robert Lee, LaDon Yingling, Sean Yingling, Mayor Margaret Madalena. Presentation of meeting minutes of August 3rd, 2020. Vice President Swaller made a motion to accept the meeting minutes with additions and/or corrections. Robert Lee second, all ayes, motion carried. Visitors and guests, Rick Nardelli, Tammy Yanito, Deanne Glass, James Smeal, Walter Huey, and Gerald Spade. Gerald Spade submitted a letter to the county commissioner. Gerald Spade believes it was unlawful for the council to make it that regular expenses were not to be notarized. President Trent apologized to Gerald Spade for misspeaking at the last council meeting. Walter Huey wants to thank John Shelley for his work down at the park. Rita Hahn and Mary Sue Huey are working on grants for the park. Walter Huey made a public apology for taking the flags down on September 11th. Old business. Council approved Resolution 2020-4. The agreement with the Glendale Volunteer Fire Department was signed. New business. The nursery school would like to make one bathroom in the hallway a nursery school only bathroom. Council agreed to this. Council is having issues with mail mix-ups. Secretary Trent will get in touch with different companies and make sure the P.O. box is listed. Mayor's report, no permits for the month, no homecoming parade this year. BPW will be discussing the Halloween parade and will let council know their decision. Streets and lights. Sean Yingling has not heard from Penelec yet about a new contact person. Mayor Madalena let council know that Comcast will be working on their lines. The electric bill did go down. American Power and Gas tried to sign us back up, but Secretary Trump denied them. Parks and buildings. LaDon Yingling will stay in contact with VOTEC. Most of the work for the park will be done in the spring. The trees can be taken care of in the fall. Personnel, nothing to report. Streetscape is getting bids on tree trimming. Finance committee, nothing to report. Right to know report, no recent requests. Finance and treasurer's report. Secretary Trent made it known about the fire company water bills not being in its normal price range. Jacqueline will be looking into this. Robert Lee made a motion to accept the finance report. Sean Yingling second, 3 yea, 1 nay, majority vote, motion carried. Vice President Swager made a motion to pay the upcoming bills to keep the borough running until the next meeting. The Don England second, all ayes, motion carried. Good of the borough. President Trent gave a short report of how the revival went. President Trent already has the park reserved for next year. President Trent asked permission to be in the park overnight next year. Council agrees. Vice President Swager got a call from a citizen about an issue with dogs barking. Mayor Madalena will call the dog catcher. The Don England has a card that she would like council to send to the people that painted the park. Vice President Swager made a motion to adjourn. Robert Lee seconded this motion. All ayes, motion carried. Meeting adjourned at 8:04 p.m.
Do I have a motion to accept the meeting minutes? Properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Visitors and guests. Pastor Stewart, you have anything? John, I take it you're with Rita and Mary Sue, and you guys will be discussing the park grant, correct?
Correct.
Okay, is it okay if I hold you guys off until we get to the section of the park grant? Okay. Reverend Spate, do you have anything?
Yes. May I approach you?
Yes.
This is a notice that came to me. It's not from me. It's a right to know request that I just received about 4 o'clock. So I didn't have it. So I just figured I'd bring it to council. And,
Well, that goes to her.
yeah,
I'll give that to you.
okay. An issue was brought up about the mail, that it was coming to the library.
Yeah.
The library doesn't have a box at all.
No, it was getting sent to their actual mailbox up
It's
here.
getting sent to them.
Oh, I see.
It's, instead of it being put in with the borough's mail, it's being sent, I don't know if they have it, like, theirs is the address, COALPORT Library, and it's just, there's just some mistakes, and I understand that they have some new employees that's working for them, so it was just an issue of maybe bringing it to their attention, because if people don't know, then, they're not aware to correct the problem, that's all.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
The second thing was,
Oh, and also, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
go ahead.
See, some of our mail had, the actual physical address of here, and the library has the physical address of here, and that's where the mix-up is getting up, because they're actually looking at the physical address instead of who it's addressed to, so that's, another reason why there's a mix-up. So instead of they're looking at who it's addressed to, they're looking at the physical address, so that's how the library is getting our mail.
Yeah.
And that's why.
If it doesn't have the post office box on, that's a
Right.
real issue right now.
Right, so that's why Noelle is taking care of, contacting all the people that we get mail from and making sure that they actually put the post office box on it, so that maybe we're, more insured of getting our mail instead of the library getting it.
For several months now, there hasn't been any news about the ordinance for independent auditor. Has that been determined?
Our solicitor has that, and she has the information that you submitted.
So that's still not rectified? Okay, so you can't even,
As far as emails that we have followed up on, I can't even address that right now.
you can't even
I'm
hire an
sorry.
independent auditor? and-
I can't even address that right now.
I'm noticing on Main Street, there are 5 of the new lights, the LED lights
And
are out.
I was aware of that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I think that's all, unless you're going to have a good of the borough. Would I be allowed to speak then?
Yeah, that comes at the end of our And of course, at that point in time, again, anybody and anything that we say here tonight, again, everybody has a chance to speak.
Thank you very much, and I yield my time.
Mr. Nardelli?
Make a suggestion. If the real problem, we probably have to go to the post office and have this address, room 1, room 2.
But again, with the address and stuff on it.
I understand that, but, like, if go to, like we're on Sundays, you got 4142, same address.
But we have a post office box, so that's why we have to make sure that whoever's sending mail to us, they put that post office box on there, because that's where, because we are not Coalport Library, we're Coalport Borough.
Right.
So even at that, it's two totally different entities, we're still, our mail is going to the library, so we have to make
But you
sure
have
that
to
we
be able to walk
do.
in, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, we have to make sure that we take the steps, whatever we need to do to ensure that we get our mail, because our mail is time-sensitive matters. Not that the library doesn't get time-sensitive matters, but a lot of our mail is time-sensitive
Yeah, I
that we
understand.
have to take care of.
How are we doing with, the houses? Anything?
Again, that's something that I have not heard anything new about. I don't know about the grant issue that she had submitted. I have not heard how far they are in that. So I have nothing new to tell you. Sorry. Old business. Noel did call about the porta-johns in the park or at the end of the season. So, those have been taken care of, and, the nursery school walk hasn't been put on yet, but, that's to be taken care of. They were here last, meeting that we had, and it was agreed upon that that would be taken care of for them to fall under the guidelines that they need to take care of. Do we have any discussion on that, on those issues? Unfinished business, trick or treating. Some of the people within Coalport, some of the parents and stuff, I don't know if anybody has heard any differently, but Halloween is a Saturday this year, and we had discussed trick or treating between 2 and 5 p.m. if that is still your wish. Arvona did not get back to me on a definite before our meeting. I know that Reed Township is having theirs on the 25th, which is a Sunday, between 3 and 5 or 2 and 5 then. But a lot of the parents that I have heard from would really like trick or treating to be on actual Halloween. So basically, any discussion?
I think that makes the most sense.
And normally we did it, with BPW, whenever they set up, the parade, because normally that was their, baby. And, being that they are not having a parade this year, it's basically when you want to set it up.
My thought process on a Sunday would be the church down by the Minute always does that thing for the kids.
Well, normally
If
they
you did
do
it on a
it,
Sunday, they may not be able to do that.
right, normally, they just do things, they go along with what we have set up. They set that up, and you're right, having it on a Sunday, there's a lot of things going on Sundays with churches and stuff, and I really don't like to do a lot of that on Sunday,
So you're saying
personally.
2 to 5, you're saying?
2 to 5 on Halloween, and again, it's parental discretion. If you want to participate, as always, you turn your porch light on if you're handing out treats, and, if you want to take your kids around, you do. It's really up to the parents and, the individual families. We're not forcing anybody to do it. We're not forcing anybody to hand out candy, and
make a motion to have Halloween on Halloween day open to parental discretion.
I second it. Properly moved and second, any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. Under new business, the park grant, we have Mr. Shawley and Ms. Khan and Mrs. Hilly here to discuss about the park grant, is that correct?
Yes, we'll let John start off. We met with, well, you go ahead. Yeah.
So we're looking at a DCN on our grant. We're looking at several different options. We were looking at one was a $30,000 grant, no match. It's just straight grant money. But then we're looking at another one that was $70,000 with $20,000, but that includes in-kind and volunteers as part of the match. And the things that they're willing to do as part of that grant would be put cement around each of the pavilions, put a new pavilion in, ADA parking, paths and sidewalks, tables, benches, signage, upgrade the electric, an ADA swing, fencing, redo the basketball court, playground equipment, water fountains, picnic tables. Obviously, we'd have to pick a couple of these. We can't.
Do it all.
Yeah. The problem we're running into is that it has to be signed off by the landowner, and the property is owned by the borough.
Mhm.
And they said that the borough's still red flag for any kind of grant money.
Okay.
She also said, before I forget it, that next year you'll have to order an ADA potty.
Right.
Because you have to have a percentage, and ours will be 1:1.
Right.
And then the ADA things have to be done first. If we do them, it has to be done first. So that's a wish list. We have to cut it down, but we can have something here. too.
Well, just to kind of recap what John said, there's several good funding options out there, which is the DCNR Small Community Program. And up to 30,000, like he said, doesn't require a match. It's a 50% match for funds over 30,000. And that grant program for the small community only goes to 110,000, although through the DCNR, there are larger grants for parks that would require a 50% match.
Okay.
The other funding source is the Greenway Trails and Recreations through the Commonwealth Financing Authority. That requires a 15% match, and that has a $250,000 maximum grant. Now, one of the things I would suggest, because of matching funds to go into this, is she told us that the DCNR rep that talked to us, Erin Moyer, she told us that you could apply for as many projects as you want. So I think breaking down the entirety of what we want to do into smaller $30,000 portions, or as close to that as you can get, would be the best way to go. And so you have more than one project, and trying with those sources, because the 15% match is a lot less than a 50% match.
Right.
So the other thing she explained to us is that urgency gives you extra points.
Okay.
And this ADA compliance is definitely something where you're going to go, in with extra oomph, because you have the need for the safety and the compliance issue. And she said not to be afraid to mention, this is a safety issue. That causes the urgency, that causes the extra points when you write the grant. So what I would suggest is, if we go into a project like this, it would be like the first project would be a paving project, which does the ADA compliance paving in the parking lot, the ADA walks, And kind of throw in there getting the basketball court, because I know there's people on Borough Council that really wanted to see the basketball court, come into specs and widen so that you could have like leagues there. And I think that for John's purpose too, he can pull in, youth that are, older into his program, and he does a great job down there. I have to say that. So the clinker that we have is the fact that we did talk to the DCED, and she did confirm that the Commonwealth funding is on hold for the borough right now.
Okay.
So I'm going to leave a copy of this email,
Please.
and it has this lady's contact name on it. And I'm hoping that the borough would reach out to DCED, because sometimes they have a lot of good ideas that they can relay to you to help, kind of come in and maybe analyze your financial situation a little bit. And the other thing, I know I can't really help with that, but as far as I am good at QuickBooks, and I've been doing it for 17 years, and if you want tutoring for any of your people that want to do QuickBooks, it's just give me a call, and I will be glad to give you, a couple afternoons to tutor QuickBooks for anybody that
Thank
wants.
you. She did do a webinar, and she showed me some of the,
I did notes while I was.
It's that's really good, so if you want to spend a couple afternoons with me and actually, do some test runs through, just make a little test file and see how it works.
I wanted to learn QuickBooks
Yeah,
myself.
it doesn't
so
matter.
Please.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
So the upshot of the whole thing is, we're not even gonna apply for a grant. We have a really good chance of getting it. We have a whole lot of ideas, because when you do a grant, I don't know if you're aware, but you can have in-kind service added. If you need to match, say, $10,000, you can get donations, you can get, people can do in-kind work. Somebody wanted to go down and maybe help build a pavilion or something, then those hours, what you said they were worth, $27.50?
For an adult, I think it's 25.
25. And churches can help in anything. So we felt that we could really handle this. And then we would go to different places and, ask for donations. But, and it wasn't due until April. January through April it was due. So we lots of time, we can do this, we've been meeting. And, but we can't because of financial things. You're red flagged in, 2 different things.
Well, that's why I encouraged reaching out, because perhaps if, you can get a workout deal with the Commonwealth on the revenue that, the Department of Revenue with what you owe, once you would start to make payments on there, they may lift that. So that's questions that you're definitely going to need to take to your, I think they call it the local government rep. But anyhow, like I said, Marita Kelly will be able to direct you to the people you need to
Now,
talk
she's a new
to.
one that I haven't heard of.
Yeah, well,
She's
we made a couple.
Oh, she is new?
Well, it changed from the man over to her, I don't know.
Oh,
what
okay,
point.
that's why. Okay.
But her address and telephone number are
Okay.
on here, so I'll definitely leave a copy.
All right, thank you.
I think we'd be, all 3 of us, and Dawn knows that the park, that we would be, more than willing to get your thing straightened out, that
Okay,
we'll dig into this again.
okay.
Did you have anything else back, Dawn? Do you read it? Okay. This isn't about the park, but can I talk so I can go home?
Sure.
Okay. I just, 2 things. One, I want to mention about the Halloween parade. everybody has different opinions on this, that it turned into a political parade.
Oh, you mean the homecoming parade?
Yes,
Okay.
when I say Halloween, I
Yeah.
mean Halloween. The homecoming parade, the school did not sanction it, but yet all the kids had their uniforms on, the cheerleaders had their uniforms on, and they belonged to the school. Peg did not know when she helped with to get that permit through quickly. She did not know what was going on. There were kids who were told that they had to holler what they were hollering, and I'm not even gonna bring it up on camera, everybody who was there would know. But they had to scream a certain thing. They had to do stuff with political material. To me, and others, I think, they used our kids as pawns, and I, for one, am extremely angry about that. The school was not to be involved in political things, but yet it's not their fault, but all these kids have Glendale stuff on, you know? Plus, they let the firemen, the fire company sponsor it because they're the ones with the insurance. They're 501c and they're not to do anything for it. Nothing. Zero. So they use the kids for political reasons, which they should have never, ever done. They, when nobody was wearing masks when those kids were sitting together in these little floats. And I think that they disrespected the fire company by having them involved in this. So,
Well, as far as the borough was concerned, this was not a parade that was sponsored by the borough. This was parental organized. And as far as the permits were concerned, we do not issue any permits to shut down 53. That's all done through
I
PennDOT.
know.
And they contacted the mayor, and the mayor told them who to contact. And I can understand your upset and what had happened, and you know, the fact that the fire company that this happened with them. And again, I'm sure that they were unaware before this had happened. And I wasn't there, I wasn't even in town, so I didn't know this had happened. And
It's
I
on film,
can't
you need to watch it.
even, what's that?
It's on film, you need to watch it.
I watched it. I wasn't there, but I did watch it, and I kind of took the same position you did. I had nothing in it, but when I watched it, I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Was the fire company notified what they were gonna do?
I don't know.
I don't think anybody was notified as to who was in the parade, as far as organizations, who was doing what, you know, as far as, it was probably like, you know, the junior varsity, the varsity, you know, as far as that, or the Girl Scouts, or, you know, they probably knew who the lineup was as far as
Yeah,
that.
I know they
was in
knew
the
they were
parade.
taking the lineup, but I wasn't sure.
But I don't think they were aware of what kind of floats or anything would be in the parade.
The mayor
Other than
didn't make a proclamation or anything of that nature, so the borough was not
No.
involved. And it was sanctioned, this was the fire companies were in charge of this.
The parents.
The parents were actually in charge, the
Senior
parents. The
parents.
Parents
parents
only.
wanted to do
Senior
it.
parents wanted to do it.
The parents wanted to do this because, you know, because there wasn't going to be a homecoming parade, you know, with the virus and everything, and they didn't want their kids missing out, you know. And so the parents kind of put everything together.
Thank you for that clarification. It was not the fire company, and it was just an organization.
No, they had to, the fire company had to help sponsor it, because when you have a parade anymore, there's a lot of stuff with the state that you have to fill out on page, it's about a 3-pager. And you have to have somebody, you have to show proof of insurance.
Mm-hmm.
So the fire company has been very kind in helping some of the groups to do that, you know, different parades.
For insurance issues?
Right, right. So,
Well, PennDOT will have a copy of who was insuring the whole event.
well, yeah, that's what we are saying, that's who it was.
It was the fire company's insurance policy.
I don't have that paperwork in front of me, so I don't want to speculate. So,
But no, it wasn't the borough.
It was not borough.
Okay, I have one more thing. Catherine McCusker was here on Saturday.
She gave Noelle a box with a letter in it, so I'm already aware.
Okay, she wants you to read that
Okay.
to the council. And I'll get a message.
Dear sirs, sorry, Littleton. It is with regret that I must inform you that while I will complete handling the payroll through the end of 2020 and will prepare all the required payroll reports for the end of the year, I will not be continuing after the end of 2020. I will reiterate what I expressed when I last attended your council meeting. If you're going to continue to operate for the benefit of your residents, you must get a handle on your operations. I understand that the pandemic has thrown a monkey wrench into everyone's lives. There are several approaches that can be pursued. First, the council needs to work together to find a solution to put the needs of the community's welfare ahead of all other considerations. Do not allow differences override common sense. Responsibility belongs to the Coalport Borough Council. Second, you must take advantage of local expertise as well that are available through various state programs. The governor sent them, and she gave us the addresses for all of those. I also understand a local resident with required expertise is available to help. Third, you must find an office help who is willing to put in the effort required and ability required to master the necessary skills. I can provide some assistance, but my distance from you and the necessity for being extremely careful during this pandemic due to my age is compromised and makes it difficult. And I do understand that, and we had already discussed that. I did not expect her to, months ago, we had discussed this. I really, really, really appreciate all the help that she has given us and did not expect her to do this for the long haul. And she has really went above and beyond. And I myself am very appreciative of what she has done, because she's been a very, very, very great help to this council and to the residents of Coalport Borough for the help that she's given us. And like I said, she has gone above and beyond. And she doesn't even live around here anymore. And what she has done has just been amazing for us. And to even prepare for, you know, what I knew this day was coming, and I wanted to be prepared. I wanted us all to be prepared for this day to be coming. So, as of the end of 2020, we will need to be prepared for, you know, the payroll and the forms to be taken care of by someone other than her. And, but what she has given us and what she has done for us is immeasurable. So while we're on that note, I also got another letter today. COALPORT Borough Council and residents, due to family obligation, it is with great regret I must resign as COALPORT Borough Tax Collector as of January 15th, 2021. Thank you for electing me to serve as your tax collector from 2003 to present. Thank you, Mary Ann Glass, COALPORT Borough Tax Collector. So we also need to advertise for a new tax collector and get that taken care of as well. I was also informed of this last night.
When does her commission end?
I will have to look into that. I am not 100% sure. I didn't ask her. She was at her family's home at the time.
Now, being that she's elected,
We have to appoint somebody
until
until
the election.
until the
So she
election.
can quit just like that and not finish out anything.
Yes, she can. It is a family obligation, and it can't be helped right now. And because of that, we need to advertise for someone to be to appoint. Now, the issue is that whoever the person is who may be interested, they have to be able to be bonded. There's other qualifications that go along with that. They have to be a voter, have to be a resident of COALPORT Borough. I need to check out some of the other qualifications to make sure that whoever is appointed is actually qualified for the position.
Will you have to have an auditor to audit her books before somebody takes it?
The reason why she is sticking it out until the 15th of January is because that's when she has to turn all her books in. I will find out for sure if she needs to be audited at that point in time. There's a possibility that she may have to be, but I'll look into that and see.
Thank you.
Actually, I'll make note of that. Any any more discussion on those subjects?
Thank you for having us.
Sure, thank you guys so much, greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
It is time to work on a new annual budget. We are going to have to.
You actually missed something.
What?
Maintenance worker.
Oh, yeah, okay. Our, Walt Helper is no longer with us. He resigned. So we have got to, it's a great week, yeah, great week for COALPORT Borough. So we have got to advertise for a new borough worker as well. So the progress is really gonna love us this week for the classified. So we have to do that as well. Now am I good for the budget meeting?
Yep.
Okay. We need to, have a budget meeting set up because, next month rolls around, we need to have our annual budget put together and ready so that we can advertise it, to put it on display as a tentative budget and have it ready for the beginning of the year.
I have already started the budget and I got most of it done, but there are some numbers that I have to get from the state, so I have not actually been able to fill those in yet.
So because, we can have like we did last year and just have a budget committee where it was just myself, Reverend Spade, and the secretary, and we did not have a quorum. However, if you think we all should be, we're gonna have to advertise it. I'm up for suggestions. If you just wanna have a budget committee where just a couple of you work with Novell on the budget, I'm fine with that too. And that meeting, you don't have to advertise. You just present what you have to council while council's here, and then that way we all discuss the budget together. Done deal?
I don't want to speak for anyone, but I think if it's that directly involving the budget, we should definitely wait till the vice president's. We know he's gonna want to be in on that, so.
Yes.
There's time restraints, how are you going to meet all those? If you would.
Special meetings. That's why we advertise.
Okay, thank you.
Call a special meeting. So we can then meet, this month, pick it out and meet it.
Anything I have to say is and you already know this, but my fall schedule at work has begun. So 7 o'clock is better for me than 6 o'clock.
And that's fine,
Okay.
that's fine. Any other discussion? You guys okay with that?
Pick a day anytime, it's good.
Okay. All right, moving on to committee reports. The mayor's report, she had nothing to report and she was not present due to an illness. Streets and Lights Committee.
I sent an email to Penland. They actually responded.
Good. Now we're
They
talking.
asked me for the account numbers for the accounts in question. I resent them an email with all the account numbers of all the streetlights.
Okay,
Have not heard anything back. This morning, I emailed them to ask if they needed any additional information, and I haven't heard back from them yet.
okay.
Do you know who that contact person was?
No, it was just a general email account that I sent to. Didn't have.
So at that next point, that's when you're just gonna see if somebody's account to our.
Yeah, when I wrote an email back about the account numbers that I sent them, they didn't tell me who the person is that is assigned those accounts, the contact person.
He's quite a little bit away.
Somebody said
Somebody said something.
That's right.
We heard.
Is that
I
everything?
got one of those rebate checks today also, and it was only for like $2. But I wanted to let you guys know I got it.
That's pretty
I'm
much it.
impressed.
Okay,
Taking it a while.
Yep.
do me a favor. We ain't biting on $2 all about that puppy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't deposit that.
Do not deposit that.
I haven't done it yet, so.
Okay.
Straight no thanks on it. No, that.
We're not paying double over $2 for crying out loud. I'll put $2 in the account.
30
Does the check have a disclaimer on it?
No.
like I said, pennies compared to what we spent, pennies.
Okay. Parts of building,
We made a schedule for John's to be picked up, which that was already in the meeting notes, and the dumpster will be turned over. And I got some thank you cards, for all the hard work that you guys done and was it your youth group and stuff, and there was many others?
Yep. And
So I do appreciate that, it looks great down there, so a lot of hard work, I saw some pictures. I just would like to come down sometime when you are there, and I'm hoping whatever we discuss, when they discuss it with you in the grants and stuff, I said about, we could probably help out with the park benches if we do, in memory of somebody to help pay for those and trees and stuff too for next year, so we'll be doing that for the spring. And, so hopefully we can make it look, it looks great. I don't know if you've been down there, Bobby, or how it looks really nice.
I haven't been down there, no. I don't go down there often. I'll make it a point to do so.
Yes, it looks really nice. I appreciate that. And if you could just get your address to Noel or something for us to send these out, that'd be great. Thank you so much.
thank you.
Kevin's not here for personnel, but kind of, Dawn, you want to give an update about the meeting?
We have, I did put the calendar on phones, or the emails, yes, the email. If he's, just apply to that. It will tell us, I actually just got a alert today, while we're sitting
Prior to
there.
the meeting, it was like.
Right at the meeting, so, if you need help, Sean's pretty good at that, to try to get that on and stuff. I'm still trying to get it where everybody can share, like if they need to put something on there, but otherwise it's just me putting something on there, so I am getting the hang of it to get there, so I'm just still reading up on how to do that, so. But other than that, we're just gonna put in the progress for a new employee and to help out, and that's all I have probably about that.
So that calendar would basically be like if, she's on vacation or she took a certain
Yes.
day off, like she tells us ahead of time, because she's taking, what is it, you're taking the
I'm taking
Monday
the
after?
19th.
Yeah, the 19th, so the Monday
Totally
after
see,
the wedding,
yeah.
okay. So,
I
But yes.
think we're gonna need you to come in.
Yeah. Chances are I'm gonna come in long enough to send timesheets and then I'm going home.
So, yeah, that's,
I realize you're getting married and all, but we're gonna need you to be here.
we expect.
Bobby, no house for up right here.
So, but yeah, that's for any employee that if, on vacation or something, I can put that on there and we would be aware, and if, something, like our meetings and stuff like that, so just not personal use, but for our borough use. So,
okay, is that everything?
that's everything for that.
Okay, finance committee.
Well, I wasn't at the last prep meeting, and so I'm assuming Kevin was, but he's not here tonight,
No.
so I have nothing, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
Okay. I got your right to know. thing.
Yeah, got one right to know request.
Basically, this is from the Americans for Fair Treatment, Andrew Hallman. And so he just wants some reports about some collective bargaining acts and police and firemen, and we don't have any of that. So this should be a fairly easy one for you, but make sure you go over this with a fine tooth comb and make sure we don't have any of that.
Okay.
I just glanced over it, so.
One question, has the new right to know officer put her email address there? Because
Yes.
on the thing,
I don't
yes.
understand why I'm
Why
getting
it went,
right to
he
know.
might have been looking at an old site or something, or,
Yeah, I've already went ahead and had everything changed, so I'm not sure why you would still be
Like even
getting
the right to know, she
Yeah.
registered with the right to know.
Yeah.
Um,
She's
office.
responsible to do it.
Right.
702, I believe, is.
Yes, she's been registered with them, and so I don't know how he got your, information. But sometimes when you Google something, old stuff still comes up, so maybe that's how it picked up.
Thank you, Madam President.
Sure. Finance. We'll remind everybody that the asterisks mean that it was already paid for the entire year.
And, I had sent 13 letters to different auditing companies around here, and I'm still waiting to hear back from them.
Oh, update also, did speak to Jack over that water bill for the fire company and did get a report from them over that. What did he say?
They were hauling swimming pool water. So, in their last fire company meeting, a motion was made that they were giving us a $100 donation to help cover the cost of their water bill.
I always thought they just took that out of the creek.
Maybe it was too low that they couldn't.
If they have emergencies, they do.
I think they used to, but maybe the water was too low, being with that rain, I'm not sure how that works.
So they were using their metered water to fill swimming pools.
I'm not exactly sure. Jack just told me that they were hauling swimming pool water, and that's all that he really knew.
Okay.
It would take forever to fill up.
I can't even imagine that.
Well,
I
so
don't
don't-
That they're using borough water for swimming pools.
A quick question too, just because it's on the top of my head, back to the auditor.
Yeah.
Did you, by any chance, reach out to Rich Strong in Armona?
Actually, Kevin did that. I am not sure how that conversation went, but I had gotten the number and everything for Kevin, and Kevin had made a call.
Okay.
Kevin said he hadn't heard from him. I spoke to Kevin earlier.
Has the fire company been paid since you have a contract?
Have you paid?
No.
fire company?
You guys have to make a motion for me to write that check.
Thank you. Madam President, the public is very thankful for the reading of the minutes. Is there any way that the treasurer could give a synopsis of the finance report that we could hear?
Let me see what we can work on, like a summary of some sort.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Would you be satisfied with a total of some sort, like how much is in, like an opening balance, a current balance of both accounts, and total expenses paid for both months and a year to date?
That sounds good. That's
Okay.
that's a start.
As far as expenditures are concerned, in August, we pay out $4,803.30. In September, $9,544.74. The reason why there was a big jump is because the hydrant fees were paid, which was an amount of $2,100 in September.
Which that's always a steady amount, so that's never gonna change.
And also, the fire company pass-through was paid, which was $1,923.86. So that's why there was a huge amount paid in September as compared to August. So as far as revenues was concerned, we had a total of $15,072.99 come into the borough. Again, we had a huge amount of real estate taxes come in, which was $3,499.82. Whereas in September, we only had $2,934.07 come into the borough. But there was no real estate taxes that came in.
I just haven't gotten those yet from Mary. I haven't gotten a call that they were ready.
Okay, so, but there was that cutoff date of August 31st that the taxes had to be paid, so we did not expect any money to be coming in at that point in time. Also, the money that was owed to the borough from Vicaria and White Township for their part of the workman's comp for the fire company was also paid in August. So that was a total of $4,569.12 from Vicaria and $2,859.12 from White Township. So again, you know, that would account for the huge amount of $15,072.99 being brought into the borough in August as compared to the lower amount in September. The current balance in the general fund for the borough is $64,344.95, and liquid fuels' current balance is $19,198.37. Do I have a motion to accept the financial report?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Properly moved in second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Motion to pay the bills, keep the borough running until the next council meeting.
I make the motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second
Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We also have the first installment that needs to be paid to the fire company, because the second one is due before the end of December.
I'll make the motion to pay that check.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Anything for the good of the borough?
Madam President,
Yes, sir.
will you entertain the public?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I'm interested in knowing what are the flags of finance that are actually holding us up?
Actually, we have to get our 2019 audit completed.
Okay.
That needs to be done. She said there were two. I was not aware of two.
I was not aware of two either.
So I cannot even comment on that. She gave Noelle the information, so we'll have to check into that.
Secondly, the solicitor, has she responded to the 15-day compliance for a brief?
You mean with
That should be over by now, but is she still working, I shouldn't label her a solicitor. Is she still working on the hearing? And is the hearing still pending?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, you mean by
Yeah,
pending,
the
like
judge-
it needs to be scheduled.
There's no judgment yet, correct?
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
thank you.
Is that everything?
Is there, wouldn't it be the ability that you could email me when there's a hearing?
I'm hoping I get informed.
I was gonna say, because the one time I didn't get it until like almost a month after.
That was one of the things that ended up, we did not get in time. That was one of those time-sensitive things that we didn't get in time, and I missed the hearing myself.
I can go down to the Monetary's office and get a docket, and which shows me all that, but it's hard to keep up with that.
Like this buyer said, you can call the court administrator, and they will give you, which is what I think I'm doing, and they will let you know when that hearing is scheduled, because I plan on doing the same.
Thank you. But if you could please give me a notice, and I'd like to be there.
Okay. Anybody have anything else for good of the board?
The reason why is they were, I believe it's in contempt of the Borough Council at that time that we made the decision in 2019. And I'd like to be there. Because I was on that council. Thank you, Madam President.
Anything else?
I just want to say thank you again. The park looks great, and for all the kids and helpers and volunteers to make a day and just make it look beautiful. So I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
You must have a good group of kids. That's great. So I do thank you again.
I have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by aye. Any opposed? We're adjourned.
We were only in session for an hour.
Oh, we've been faster than that.